Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we have to talk about it because it's making groundbreaking news, and apparently the base cannot stop talking about it. And I have intended to do a video on it, but I was not on some vacation like Red Eagle. In fact, I was waiting for Red Eagle to post something about this so I can kind of collect my sources because I don't want to come out and totally just destroy my base and lose the credibility of my channel for saying something wrong that isn't necessarily backed up. So I kind of took sources from like Red Eagle, Benny Johnson, along with Greg Foreman and Rasmussen, and I have collided them and made up an opinion. Okay, heard both sides of the argument, and apparently, we can finally get into the evaluation. So, apparently, it is quite disappointing, but I'm disappointed, but not for the reasons that you may think. But the Trump administration did not release the Epstein Files. Now, there are reasons why they may have not released the Epstein Files. Number one, first off, there may not be a list. Okay, maybe that was fabricated. Okay, number two, there is a list, but it's a list of people on it, aka non-celebrities, basically people we never heard of before. They're still around, and we risk damaging their careers, damaging their legacy, and if he releases it, Trump releasing this will do reputational damage to these people. Trump will pay the price, okay? This is what will happen. Or number three, which I think is very highly unlikely, because I don't think their list was destroyed by a previous administration. Okay, like whether it be the Biden administration did it probably, in efforts to probably sabotage Trump, because we do know that the Biden administration did lots of stupid, ugly things, like killing a bunch of chickens to soar the said egg prices for Trump's first week, and obviously they did a lot of stupid stuff. But this could possibly be a part of the sabotage of the Biden administration. But regardless, here's my take on this. Okay? Now, to all respect to those who are upset and disappointed with the Jeffrey Epstein Files not being released, we need to come to the table and make sense of this. The release of the Epstein Files is not MAGA. It's not MAGA. And in fact, the reason why I'm disappointed is MAGA has been very childful. Okay? Childless. Or childful. Or I don't know what it's called. I have bad grammar. They're being very foolish, very disappointing, because a lot of MAGA wanted this list, okay? I know this. We followed the Trump campaign all the way through. But what a lot of people in MAGA don't realize was this was on the sideline promise. Okay, there are the main promises. And Trump has delivered on all his main promises. No tax on tips, mass deportations, tariffs. He has promised that, and he's delivered. Closing the southern border. And, of course, fighting for the Lake and Riley family, and he successfully passed and got justice for Lake and Riley. The one thing he couldn't get done was the Epstein Files. And it's not like Trump said, actually, I don't want to release the files anymore. It's more that the base is like, Trump is all excited to release the files, and now he says he's acting all hiding the files and said such a thing like that. I think it's more that Trump doesn't know how the base will respond, and obviously he's found out. I think they found out, obviously, in February, and they've been holding it off. But the point is, Trump did do his promise. He looked at the files. He told the Attorney General to look at the files. And, oof, it could have been a list of people, but it was not the list that everyone was hoping for. It was not a celebrity list. And what the Trump administration is struggling at right now is actually, they feel like they can't tell them that this isn't a celebrity list. Why can't they tell us that this isn't a celebrity list? They did. They did tell us. But some people are very, 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 very stubborn. Now, am I downplaying the fact that, is the Trump administration lying? Well, I think, honestly, if you are if you've been following Donald Trump and all this, why would you think Donald Trump is lying to you? Now, this is kind of, I think these people like Benny Johnson, all respect to him, but I think he's in denial. I honestly am in respect. I don't think there is a celebrity client list. Call me dumb. I don't think there is. I think there's a client list. I do think Edward Epstein did horrible things, but when you connect the dots, it comes back to a certain conspiracy theory. Now, hang on. It comes back to a certain conspiracy theory called QAnon. And everyone know what QAnon is? QAnon is what destroyed half of the Republican Party. QAnon is what made the Republican Party a stigma and what made a lot of independents not want to go back to the Republican Party. Because they made us look crazy, okay? QAnon made us look crazy. Because what's QAnon? Do we need to remind ourselves what QAnon was? QAnon was this theory, once again, similar to Edward Epstein, conspiracy theory of political movement that originated in 2017, centers on claims of anonymous individuals known as Q, that basically, of course, that had like satanic or sexual beliefs. They believed in, once again, sex trafficking, child trafficking, along with kidnapping. And unfortunately, and they were like, once again, this sort of like cult. Everyone was so believed that this was real. And so much that there was, unfortunately, a shooting. And that shooting is known as Pizzagate, because Pizzagate took place this shooting took place at of course, a said pizza parlor. And it was committed by an idiot that thought that the pizza parlor was hiding a bunch of kids and women in a basement. Well, turn out to find out that there was no basement, and he just shot up a bunch of innocent people at a pizza parlor. This was the last straw. And of course, there was said Pizzagate right here, 4chan culture. This was originating in 2017. And what I am fearing, and now I'm not saying it's QAnon, but people are downplaying this big time. People are not learning their lesson from this and how this was so consequential to the Republican Party. It took them out. You notice the same, there's a pattern here. Epstein, client list, and QAnon, they both involve women and children, okay? Here's the deal. In efforts, and I'm coming out against half the MAGA faction here, so I might make a lot of people mad, but I'm just going to say what it is, because if some people just rather have the whole entire MAGA base commit suicide over a list, that's what you want to incentivize. Guess what? You're not MAGA, and I want you to get out. Get out. This isn't MAGA. This isn't helping America. This is just really a list just to honestly help your ego, to help people's ego. A list that, I'm sorry, people just want, they love the excitement. They want to know the answers. These are die-hard conspiracy theorists that just want an answer. And I'm not accusing Benny Johnson of this. No, I do think Benny Johnson is trying to ask questions, but I think he's going way too far. I think you got the answer. And if you do research and connect the dots, why would there be a celebrity client list? Because A, do you think Hillary Clinton's guilty? Well, here's the deal. Hillary Clinton's not acting like she's guilty. So I have a hard time believing Hillary Clinton's involved in this. Bill Clinton too, because they're not acting like it. In fact, they act like they've been laughing for an hour about this. Okay? I'm having a hard time believing this. That's number one. Needs to believe that no celebrities are involved. Which backs up my belief that there is a list, but that list is a lot of individuals that we don't know for proof that haven't committed crimes. That's the other thing. If there was a celebrity list, it had Hillary Clinton's name on it, we wouldn't arrest her. Why? Why couldn't we arrest her? Just because you're on the list doesn't mean you committed a crime. So if the Democrats want to go, Donald Trump's on the list. Well, if Donald Trump was on the list, Donald Trump released that and he was on the list, which would be funny because which convinces me, like, if he really was on the list, that's not why he's holding it back. I'm telling you guys. Because if he was on the list, that doesn't mean anything. Just like when Donald Trump had a photo with Epstein, same thing, by the way, you have Trump's name on Epstein's list. So we have Donald Trump with a picture with Epstein. So what? Doesn't mean you committed a crime. So I'm just thinking, if Donald Trump's so self-conscious about this, he would just release it and say, oh, the White House would put a statement there. So what? Nothing would happen to Trump. So it does not make sense that Trump is on the Epstein list. Number two, even with Hillary Clinton, if she was on the list, Bill Clinton, whatever, Robert De Niro, all these actors, celebrities, businessmen, they're on the list. They're not going to get arrested. Because this is what half the base thinks. Half the base thinks, when you're on the list, we have what we need to arrest you. That's not how it works. I see people going around, no client list, no arrests. I'm like, why are you questioning about arrests? Donald Trump has not promised arrests from this. That's one thing he hasn't. He promised the Epstein Files, but he hasn't promised arrests. These are people that just, I'm just saying, a lot of people, I don't personally like to see my political opponents in jail. Some people want to see Hillary Clinton in jail. That's just a fact. And I just don't think that's morally correct. That just makes the Democrats look more better. I mean, we want the Democrats to look more crazy. They want to kill Donald Trump. They want to throw Donald Trump in jail. They've been doing it for 8 years. Let them do that. Don't let us. We do have a lot of shenanigans on our side. But you want to make us more crazier than the Democrats. I don't appreciate that. I really don't. But the point I want to get here is you cannot downplay the possibility that this is QAnon. It could be a QAnon conspiracy theory. That, you know what? QAnon, Jeffrey Epstein Files, they have, of course, the same tagline to get support notice. They involve victims. And now, Edward Epstein, it's correct. He is a vicious offender. But notice, the people in support of releasing the Epstein Files will say, we got to get justice for these girls. While really, the guy they did get justice because A, the guy is in jail. And he's 60 feet in the ground. which further backs up the point. If the offender is dead, the leading offender, meaning Jeffrey Epstein, he is dead. Along with, and we have these people below him, they don't have a leader. If there were other people involved that follow the lead of Jeffrey Epstein, they're most likely going on their own ways. And you have these women, these girls there's of course, there are like 1,000 victims all across the country. Some probably dead, some probably still living. Why aren't they speaking out right now? They have no reason not to. Are they afraid of the public attention? Their offender is in jail, and in fact, he's dead. He's dead. He's 60 feet in the ground. The other people involved are likely in jail too, or they're likely silent. So it would be very stupid of them to go after the girls again, get caught. Why are these victims staying silent? There are 1,000 of them, yes. And that's the other thing. Perhaps there are. Now, this is a difference here. Here's a difference between a lot of people want to say this is a morality issue. Donald Trump's not getting these women justice. Here's the problem, though. Here's the deal. It's not our job to deliver justice for people. It is to a point. Yes, absolutely. When people 9/11, they died. We got to deliver justice for them because they were dead, okay? They can't get justice for themselves. But these women, these girls, it's up to them to advocate and say, hey, I was assaulted. And I'm afraid for my safety. That's their job. So, in cases of the victims, some probably are dead. Well, what if Epstein killed them? Well, Epstein's in jail. Was he charged for murder? Well, we can't charge him because he's dead. So there's sometimes very little we can do. Then people will say, oh, what about the footage? So they say he committed suicide, even though there was in the security camera, half of it was gone. Well, it's not very often where you get security footage of people killing themselves. It's a disturbing thing. I don't want to see the footage. Are you kidding me? And people looking around saying, where's the footage of Epstein killing himself? Where's the footage of Epstein trying to hang himself? And I'm like, why are you guys wanting to see that footage? It's sad. And some people, honestly, they're asking that because, they don't think they killed himself. They don't think he killed himself. They think he was killed by the government, which, by the way, would be a condemnation to Donald Trump because he was killed by the U.S. government led by Trump. So Trump would be held accountable by this. You see what I mean? So these hard people that say they're MAGA, I think it would be a stupid, ugly, and horrific thing. And that's part of the reason why I think Donald Trump's mad. Because you are seriously, I think he's hurt. I do think he's hurt. His feelings are hurt. Because this man doubled down on everything. On his promises. I know things haven't gone well with Russia and Ukraine and Israel and with Iran, but he's put his effort in. He delivered his promises in the big, beautiful bill. Everything he promised in one big, beautiful bill. He has lowered inflation. He's closed the border. He's done everything he said except for this. And he put in the effort. And when he said, I can't release this list, everyone's blowing up. Are you serious? Over a list, a piece of paper with text on it, which means nothing. Nothing. You just want to see Hillary Clinton on there. So I'm sorry, yeah, Donald Trump worded this tweet wrong. It was a inappropriate tweet. But he's correct. Absolutely, he's correct. And his feelings about this is legitimate. 100%. And when you have Rasmussen going around saying, Trump's betraying America. What? Are you kidding me? After everything this man has done for our country, took a bullet and everything, you have the nerve, Rasmussen, to say that he is betraying America when he took a bullet for America. That made me angry. And this is the problem with MAGA. One thing the left is correct about. The one thing, they are obsessed with these conspiracy theories. This is not about justice. It is not about justice for women. No, it's not. Because, A, the guy is dead. He's been charged. He's in the ground right now. And you got thousands of victims. Yes, half of them are dead. Half of them are living. And those who are living, it's up to them to speak out. It's not the government's job. It's not our job to worry about it. Our lives don't evolve around 1,000 people. And if it revolves around 1,000 people, then it might as well evolve around many others, including the people in Gaza. Just saying, the people dying in Donbass, in Ukraine. What about the Titanic? Well, the Titanic was British people, so I guess that's a poor decision. What about the USS Maine? This is so absurd. So it's very, very frustrating when we have people. I understand a lot of people probably are mad at me now, and I don't care because guess what? I'm not going to let MAGA commit suicide. I'm not. These people, Benny Johnson, he means well, he's still MAGA, but he doesn't realize it, but he's detonating this movement. He is blowing it up. Along with Laura Kelly, not Laura Kelly, Megyn Kelly. You got your answer. There's a list, guys, there's a list. He could have said that there is no list. What list? He didn't say that. I know a lot of people are saying, what list? Like, out of the blue. But he said there was a list. It's just not a celebrity list. It's a client list, yes, but there's lists of people that we don't know. Who knows? My dad might be on the list. Do you think it'd be right for him to be fired from his job? For nothing? He did nothing wrong. It could be, who knows? It could be your mother. It could be your father. It could be your uncle or your great uncle. Why would my uncle do something like that? Why would my uncle know Epstein? I'm just saying. Don't think it could be yours, or I don't think you have any relations. But I'm just saying, come from an average American's perspective that may know one person that knew Epstein and may have went to Epstein's list, that may lose his job, that may be reputational damage, that may have death threats due to this, over a list that didn't need to be released. And priority, Donald Trump, give him credit for it. When credit is due, he's taking the priority here. He's taking the hits. He's taking the slams. He is doing the right thing. If this is what he says it is, a list where people haven't committed any crimes, it's average American constituents that knew Epstein, that went to his island, no evidence of crimes. Who knows? They maybe did some stupid stuff, but we cannot investigate further because there's no more evidence. Because there are cases like that, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. Donald Trump would do the right thing. Donald Trump, if this is what he said it is, constituents went to an island, partied with Epstein, no evidence of crime whatsoever, went back home, he shouldn't release the list, and I hope he doesn't. Because that would be ethnically immoral. Wrong. And I think Donald Trump, he's handling this the wrong way. This isn't going away. It's become apparent that Epstein obsession syndrome has taken, and this isn't just this is conspiracy theories. This is the same. The people that are upset about Epstein are the same people that believe in QAnon. No difference. Epstein's just more popular. There are a bit more people than people that believe in Epstein than QAnon. But when you compare the cases, both involve victims, sexualization, trafficking, and people that believe in this will use the victims as leverage to get this case more attention. We must need more. We must see more. We need to learn the evidence because of the woman, because of the victims. Don't get me wrong. I want every woman, if she was violated, if every child, any child, was violated in some way, I want that child to get the justice that she or he deserves. But you don't know how many cases there are where they're ongoing. Jacob Wetterling was an example. A lot of people gave up on him. But guess what? One day, we found the guy just north of my county, in Carver County. In Wright County, they found the guy. Why bring that up? Is people were willing to give up. People surrendered the fact that, you know what? Jacob didn't get his justice. That's bad. I'm sure it is. But the world doesn't revolve around the Jacob Wetterling case. In God we trust. And when we go around freaking out about and use a sensitive issue and worry about people, women not getting their justice, we don't trust in God. We have that motto. It's not a coincidence that we had our motto. That special motto that will always be our motto. In God we trust. In God we trust. And in God, justice is always. And I guarantee you, God delivered justice to those women. Do you think, well, honestly, a lot of people think Epstein's in hell. He very could be in hell. Justice is served. God is the ultimate judge. And of course, from an American government perspective, we do want things to be held in the government, accountable in the federal level. Absolutely. But the guy is in jail. The guy died in jail. We think the government may have killed him. Then again, it's an indictment against Trump. Do you think Trump would kill a prisoner in jail? Just think about it. I know these people, they believe that the Epstein Files are real. They believe that there's a celebrity client list. With all these people there in an island far away in the Virgin Islands. They believe it, but they won't ask sensible, common sense questions. Hang on. Would Donald Trump kill someone? A jail? You say Donald Trump's a great guy. Do you think he would kill an inmate? The government killed Epstein! The government's so bad! Well, then you're saying Donald Trump's bad. Are you guys really MAGA? Do you really not trust Donald Trump? I don't think they do trust Trump, to be honest. All these people, the Epstein Island conspiracy theorists, come on. Guys are not, we got some dumb ones. Now, I'm not trying to insult anyone on this channel that believe in Epstein. But I'm just trying to help people connect the dots. Because there's some people that just do not care. They just want their list. And if they don't get their list, they're just going to blow it up. Everything up. They're going to blow everything up. Donald Trump took a life for this. Almost lost his life. I know that sounded horrible. Donald Trump took a life for this. Donald Trump almost lost his life for this. And you're committed to blowing it up. Now, no one's going to ever admit it, but you know you are. Because when you come out and make make it impossible for Donald Trump to do his job, you've chose your side. You've chosen to be with the Democrats. And I know the scary thing about this is some of these people are so stupidly committed to screw everything up that they are going to not vote. They're just going to purposely not vote, or they're just going to vote Democratic. Because they didn't get a list with words on it. With names. They didn't get the people, and that's the other thing, guys. I didn't mention this, the other thing. They would be mad even if the list was released and Hillary Clinton was on it. Everything, best case scenario, they would still be mad. Because Hillary Clinton wouldn't be in jail because she didn't do anything. No crime, no evidence of crimes. And Trump didn't promise arrests. There would still be this strain in the MAGA movement. There would still be a strain. So, yeah. I think it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, with a lot of these people. There's Epstein obsession syndrome. CNN is correct. MAGA, actually, NBC. Yeah, Trump can't stop MAGA from obsessing about the Epstein Files. And they got their answer. And I do think that Donald Trump, in order to fix this, is going to have to come forward, make it clean like Benny Johnson wants to say, but make it clean, but not the way he wants to make it, listing a list that may not exist. Because you're wasting your time. Donald Trump is correct. You are wasting your time over a list that may not exist. And they said, how does the list not exist? We have the footage of Hillary Clinton in the thing. They can source all this stuff. But they won't source the evidence on the other side. That, hey, you guys really are making it sound like, oh, well, maybe it was some head government official. Donald Trump, we know, wouldn't kill someone. Like, really? So Donald Trump could have stopped the guy and he chose not to stop the government from killing Epstein? Really? I don't think Trump would ever kill Epstein. They're friends, honestly. And I'm not saying at all that Trump is involved in the heinous actions of Edward Epstein. But it's common sense stuff. I think these people are more let down about the Epstein case. They want to turn it into Trump's turned on America. He's now hiding stuff from America. Now, I can be honest with you. Trump can be awkward. Very awkward when pressed on certain issues. And that's always been his weakness. He gets very awkward. Okay? A lot of people want to say, oh, he's hiding something. Well, Trump acts that way because he's worried about backlash, number one, what people are going to think of him, what people obviously are, what could this escalate to? What should he say? This is what Trump generally just struggles with that. This is nothing new. He gets very squirmy, awkward when pressed with very, very, very pressing, like Epstein, which honestly, I'm like, what? Your whole world's falling apart over this? It's just frustrating. I thought the MAGA movement was good, but there are some parts of the MAGA movement are just so, they aren't MAGA. They really aren't. They joined the MAGA movement for one reason only, and this was this. And I don't think, no, don't even bother. Oh, we're just worried about, we just want transparency. Well, Donald Trump gave you that transparency. He said, look, we saw the list, we have the list, and it's not a celebrity list. The end. And there are people that are just in denial about it. Because in their minds, they have the evidence and the proof. Hillary Clinton was in the room. But at some point, you gotta say, hey, look, is this even worth it? There's so much things going on right now. You know what? Hands out to the people of Texas in Galveston. They went through a flash flood. They aren't bashing Donald Trump over a list. They're on their knees thanking our president for helping them during this time of crisis, during a flash flood. And we are sitting here whining about a list. And I'm like, and I do think Red Eagle is correct. That half of this are panicans, okay? People that were against Trump all the way. They're skeptical of the MAGA movement. They're Haley supporters. They never want Republicans to win because they are afraid of the backlash. They'll vote Republican, but they are suddenly all scared. And they're stressing on their bed. Watch Republicans to make a good decision. I'm like, really? And they just panic over everything. Part of this is panicking. Other parts of MAGA, they're just frustrated. The Benny Johnson faction, and it's a pretty big faction. I mean, it's a big audience of people that are mad. We're talking about Rasmussen. We're talking about Benny Johnson. We're talking about Laura Kelly. We're talking about half of Fox News. But what they need to realize is, for all you folks that think the Epstein Files were going to be released, okay, this guy has been transparent for the most part. He's released the JFK files. He released all these files except for the Epstein Files. He's not being transparent! No, it's not that he's not being transparent. It's just you want the Epstein Files. This is just disappointment. You didn't get the Epstein Files. Because if this was about transparency, you would give Trump credit about the JFK Files. And guess what? The JFK Files were about everything we already knew. Everyone that said, Lyndon B. Johnson killed Kennedy. Did Lyndon B. Johnson kill Kennedy? Anything in the files suggests that Lyndon B. Johnson killed Kennedy? Nothing. No, none. Just said Lyndon B. Johnson wanted to be president. He was. Became president after assassinating nothing. Everything we already knew. Duh, Lyndon B. Johnson ran for president in 1960. Well, of course he wanted to be president. What, are you kidding? But yeah. I'm like, look at the patterns. We got the JFK files. We got the QAnon. And do the math. It's Epstein files do exist. They probably do exist. But they're not what most people think they are. Now, I have a hard time imagining that all these Democrats and all Hillary Clinton and the Hollywood elite, all of them were on the list. Now, I'm having a hard time believing that. Because a lot of them, they're not acting like they're on the list. They're not acting like they're about to go to jail. They're not acting like something really bad's going to happen to them. Not acting like it. They're acting really confident. They're acting like they did nothing wrong. You just look at them. When we talk about releasing the Epstein list, do you see Hillary Clinton acting nervous? Do you see a lot of those Hollywood elitists acting nervous? No. A lot of people say, oh, you're just saying that because you want to be the MAGA movement to be united. In ways, yes. I think it would be humiliating. MAGA actually didn't. January 6th was supposed to destroy MAGA. It didn't. What destroyed MAGA? A piece of paper with names on it. How embarrassing is that? Do you want to humiliate MAGA? Do you want to humiliate Donald Trump and ruin his reputation over this? Donald Trump did it. He looked at it. What do you expect us to do? Fly a camera in there and watch him look at the lists? Prove that he did it? Let's face it. People want the list. They're not going to get it. Give up. I don't think Nixon ever released those hit list victims during Watergate. I think they're still in files. Should we demand Trump to release the hit list for Nixon? I mean, what? There are some things in government that are just locked up tight. Trump probably thought, oh, I just grabbed them. And the government probably said, slapped them in the head, saying, no. Who knows? CIA probably threatened Trump. Probably threatened his life. Who knows? The government is a snake. We can agree on that. Absolutely. Epstein Files people, yeah, we can agree on that. Nod our head. But don't blame Trump on it. People are like, oh, why is Trump not releasing the list? It's not. Trump wants to release the list. He can't. And we know it's for good reasons. These people are mad because they didn't get the list. They think he's not being transparent. And he is. And this is unfair criticisms. And you just saw a very lash-out tweet released. And that reveals lots, calling this a scam. Red Eagle's confused on why he's blaming Democrats. Why is Donald Trump blaming Democrats? It's quite obvious why he's blaming Democrats. He's trying to get the base back. He's trying to reunite the base. He's trying to wake the base up. Come on! Wake up! And he's right to a point. Democrats are taking advantage of this. Yep. Yeah, Jamie Raskin. What's Jamie Raskin doing? What's he doing? He's telling Pam Bondi, he's bringing Pam Bondi in, Mr. Bongino, Kash Patel, he's dragging them to the Capitol, and he's going to press them. Why is he doing this? He doesn't care about the Epstein Files, guys. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't think Trump is in the files. No. Because this is, of course, a psyop. He's, of course, trying to elevate. He's going to try to make Democrats look transparent. Before you know it, Democrats are going to, they're at 19% approval. Not anymore. They're going to go all the way, shot up to the 60%. Why? Because Jamie Raskin, Adam Schiff, they want to release the client list. They want transparency, and everyone's going to forget about Biden. No one's talking about Biden anymore. No one's talking about the Democrats under Biden. No, we just need new Democrats. Jamie Raskin, he's been speculated to run for president, guys. Don't know that? We know for sure now because he's saying, I'm going to press Kash Patel, and I'm going to press Pam Bondi, and I'm going to do this and this and this. Yes, Trump is correct about the Democrats, and it's kind of shocking that Red Eagle didn't catch that. Democrats are behind this. Democrats have taken over half the MAGA base, and they're using them as pawns right now. Because what are Democrats going to use with this? A, they destroy MAGA within, and I don't think those people are going to join Democrats, but it's going to gaslight and project Democrats as transparent, as accountable, everything that they weren't about a year ago. This is going to make up for everything. So am I saying panic? No, we don't need to panic. We just need to stop. 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 Stop it. Knock it off. This isn't making America great again. That's not what MAGA is about. Never was. And I can understand something if this had to do with the border, if this had to do with, let's just say, not really like giving illegal aliens amnesty. I would join Benny Johnson, all these people against Trump for that. Absolutely. But this is stupid. A list? One list he didn't release. Everything else he released, but not one list of that. The most important one. He didn't release it. And he's calling it a scam. I don't think he's right to a point, but a lot of people are just are questioning because Donald Trump believed the scam, right? So I do think that wording is bad. He said it was a scam, like Russia, Hunter Biden's laptop. Hunter Biden's laptop was true, by the way. One conspiracy theory that was correct, and I think a lot of people are thinking it's going to be like the laptop. I don't think it necessarily works like that. I really don't. And it's just very frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating. And it's disturbing. It is discouraging. And I hope it doesn't end like this. Greg Foreman saying this might be the end of MAGA. Greg Foreman's correct on many of this. And I give him credit for this. A lot of like real American ready go. Greg Foreman. We're agreeing that this is stupid. People obsessing over a list. This is stupid. It has to stop. I do think Benny Johnson's partly taking advantage of this for views. Let's be honest. Rasmussen has zero reason to be talking about this. They're polls. They're a polling source. And it seems as if they want to hurt Trump because they didn't get a list. So it's very frustrating. In Fox, some hosts, like Matt Gutfeld, he's a libertarian. He's obviously, all libertarians are going crazy right now, obviously, because they don't trust the government at all. But when you have someone like Matt Gutfeld, and you're like, okay, wait, hang on. Does it make sense that Donald Trump would shoot and kill Jeffrey Epstein in jail cell? Or was he instructed to by the government? Well, let's reverse it again. Was Donald Trump instructed not to release the Epstein Files? Was Donald Trump instructed not or threatened if he released the files? Now, Donald Trump is stalling over this. He says he's going to call a joint session, and I'm like, no. What's the point? You're not releasing the files. Just tell them the truth. Why should there be a joint session? Why? I don't get it. Why? What's a joint session going to do? Nothing. It's just a stall. And we know that. We know that. So, it's frustrating. It absolutely is. Because now more than ever, I'm concerned about what Trump's doing now. Because we can count on Trump. The reason why Trump made it through his first term, made it through his convictions, made it through his assassination attempt, and made it beating Kamala Harris. He had the base. Without Trump's base, he can't do anything. You take a look at George Bush. George Bush went down the toilet because he didn't have a base. Trump had a base. Joe Biden didn't have a base. He went down the toilet. Trump's numbers are still good. But Democrats would go, this is bad numbers. Well, for Donald Trump, it is good numbers. Very better compared to his first term. But I'm telling you guys, in next week, it could be minus 10 Biden net worth. Minus 10. And you cannot say by now that the American people are with Trump on this. And we got to remember, half of the American people are Trump supporters. Without Trump supporters, add them with the half of the Trump base to the Democrat base. 60% disapprove of Trump. Over a list. Are you kidding me? So honestly, it's about prioritization right now. You could be disappointed about the list. I never followed the Epstein thing. I knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. I knew the story. And I, of course, care about the victims. But that's not the number one thing I'm voted for. People I go and I say, oh, this is not what I voted for. I'm like, you voted for the Epstein list to be released. Is that what you're telling us? Because if you only voted for that, then that shows us what you really think about America. What you really think about America under Biden. We live under a selfish society, but I thought we were better morally, but I guess we weren't. What's the point? So, a lot of people are saying, oh, I'm done with MAGA. I'm done. Okay, be done. Because you were never MAGA. You were never MAGA. If you're about the list, all along, Epstein list, you're not going to give credit for Trump and the mass deportations that have swept the country now due to this big, beautiful bill taking effect. And we got the kingpin of MS-13. We raided a California farm and found minors being enslaved. You're not going to credit Trump for that? You claim to be in support of victims. Well, we have hundreds of victims of children being enslaved by kids, by MS-13 and these illegals. And we're not going to praise Trump for that? So it's not about the victims then. It's quite obvious. It's actually about the news. It's about the excitement. It's about the gossip. It's about the desire to see people go to jail. And we don't want that. And a lot of people go, oh, that's not what I'm trying to say. Oh, no, I don't want them to go to jail. Well, this is what people will assume when you when you realize this. Guys, guess what? If Hillary Clinton committed a crime, she should go to jail. Well, if she didn't go to jail, if she didn't commit a crime at all, she's innocent of any crime, I don't want her to go to jail. Being quite honest. I don't want any Democrat to go to jail if they haven't committed a crime. I don't want any of my enemies going to jail if they haven't committed a crime. And wanting that to happen, even though there is no crime committed, that doesn't make you look good. It doesn't. So people that are so excited to see Hillary Clinton go to jail, and I'm like, okay, I know that a lot of people would think that's funny. Seeing that they try to jail Trump, I can understand that. But this being your lifelong mission is like hate. You're no different than Democrats when it comes to Trump. Their whole goal is hating Trump 24/7, making sure he goes to jail, and locking him up. You have this crazy woman in Ireland named Rosie O'Donnell. She's all the way in Ireland right now. And what's she doing? What is she doing right now? She's going off. MAGA, you sycophants. And she is all the way in Ireland. Keep in mind, Ireland is a conservative country. It's liberal in our terms, but Ireland is woke conservatives. No doubt about it. O'Donnell supports the socialists in Ireland. But the fact is, Ireland never had a liberal prime minister. Or a Taoiseach, whatever it's called. But the reason why I bring that up is she should be incentivizing her energy in helping leftists take over Ireland. But what's she doing? She's talking about Trump. She's talking about America. She's talking about things going on here, even though she's over there. And really, in her mind, she believes the prime minister is no different than Trump. Even though really they're totally different. Okay. Then why aren't you hating the Irish prime minister? You're an Irish citizen, O'Donnell. Go whine and cry in Ireland. Stay in Ireland. And get rid of Trump in your head. Because Trump is dancing. He's doing the Trump dance in your head 24/7. And you just seem to enjoy it. You are 100% committed to have Trump dance in your head 24/7. So, this has been a long video. I had to stress a lot. It is an very emotional thing for me. Because I've been following this movement for a long time. Because I was emotionally damaged during the January 6th riot. I was emotionally damaged and traumatized. I felt like an outcast. I felt rejected by my own country. Because the left said I was a terrorist. Now, this isn't a watered down poor me thing. It's just it's emotional because we saw MAGA rise up from that, and that made me so happy. We saw, of course, the assassination attempt. We united against Trump over that. Had a great, amazing RNC. We had an amazing election, and now we're falling apart because of our list. Are you kidding me? We got out of an insurrection, quote unquote, and I would rather fall apart due to an insurrection. We have all these movements. They get banned, and they get because they revolted. And I'm not saying January 6th was amazing. But then again, you have more respect. And what was your reason for collapsing? A list. Because half your base is mad about a list. I'm just saying, comparing that to historic movements in history around the world, that's humiliating. That's humiliating. So and I can understand Donald Trump's frustration with this. He's under pressure because his greatest movement of all time is falling apart due to this. And this cannot happen. And people know very well that this is not worth the whole MAGA movement falling apart. You know very well. So, then again, to those who are upset about the list and are mad and hurt about the list, this video was not a rant against you personally or directly. It's just a really talking to the big voices, because Benny Johnson, Laura Kelly, Megyn Kelly, Fox News Rasmussen, all these right-wing influencers claim to be pro-MAGA. They are not helping. They're not helping the president. He's done his job. And now you have Nikki Haley coming out. You know that there's something wrong going on when you have Nikki Haley coming out. We must have the list. Drop the big... What are you trying to do, Nikki? That's a red flag for 2028. Just saying. Because Ron DeSantis hasn't said anything about it. None of only Nikki Haley's the only Republican that's come out. Release the list! Speaker Johnson probably pressed Trump about it. But he's a speaker, then again, he has to look good. Unemployed Nikki Haley is singing about the list on Twitter via X. That's not a good sign. So, just saying, wake up. And obviously, do not let a CNN poll being a Trump minus 12 happen. And honestly, it's really your choice. It's really, do you want this to happen? Well, I don't want that to happen. Well, when you continue to vent about, I know this video was a vent. I know. People will remind me in the chat, yeah, you're venting. Well, sure. Yeah, I know. I'm frustrated. But when we vent about Epstein and Files and the island for 2, 3, 6 weeks, then you will see Donald Trump at minus 20. You're going to see Donald Trump pass Joe Biden numbers. We're going to forget how unpopular Joe Biden was. So I'm just saying, not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. We need to be united under Trump. We got to get these mass deportations. We're going to rally around the president. We're seeing those mass deportations soar and skyrocket in the air. There are more mass deportations now than ever in Trump's 7 months as president. And we need to rally around, because these are the same people that came and said, there's not enough mass deportations. Well, you look at it's going up in the air and you're not giving credit. These are the panicans. They don't give Trump anything. They will go to the next thing. The economy's still bad. Well, we'll see what happens in the midterms, but in 2026, and speaking of midterms, I know it looks very good for Republicans, but I'm talking about people in Michigan. Give Democrats a victory there in Georgia. People not showing up. Republicans are low propensity, more as it is. And you want to be a child, and revolt over the list, then okay. But anyway, it's just going to talk and want to thank you all. Want to make this a 1-hour video. Thank you all for those who continue to listen through the whole thing. I know it was frustrating. let's not. This movement and this channel will continue to support MAGA. It's united under Donald Trump under this. It's unapologetically united behind President Trump through this debacle, this civil war, and what I like to call Epsteingate. Donald Trump is not in the wrong. What he is doing is good. If we are being honest, if this is truly about protecting the identities of people that haven't committed crimes and that aren't celebrities, then what he's doing is applause-worthy. He's taking bullets, he's taking hits. We need to, for people that believe in this theory, they need to unite behind Trump. And they need to tell the base to stop. QAnon cannot happen again. If QAnon happens again, we're done. Throw in the towel, we're done. But anyway, what do you guys think about this political video? See you all in the next one.